Hey everybody, so today I want to start with a little story. This involves the writer of the great novel Catch 22, Joseph Heller. And Joseph Heller was at a party in the Hamptons. He was invited there by a friend, and the friend pointed out the host of the party to Mr. Heller. And the friend told Mr. Heller, "You see that guy, the guy who's hosting the party, the guy whose house we're in, that guy's going to make more money this year than you've made your entire life." And Joseph Heller thought about it for a moment, and he said, "Well, I have something that that guy will never have." And the friend said, "Well, what is that?" And Joseph Heller says, "I have enough." So I think this is a great insight as to knowing what is enough for you. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean what your goal is in life, like how much money you want to make, but what are you? Life is the pursuit of knowledge, I believe, and experiences. That's kind of the two things, knowledge and experiences. But a lot of people think about life as the pursuit of money and material things and power because they feel like, well, if I have the power, then I have the freedom to make the choices. But in the end, what you're going to really look back at are probably, your relationships, which kind of come at you organically. You don't really have to pursue relationships. You have family relationships. It's not something you want to actively pursue, but the things you actively pursue, really, knowledge and experiences, are the two things you're really going to look back at and appreciate. And money is just kind of a way to gain, you use the knowledge to gain the money, and then the money helps you get the experiences. It's money is a part of the chain, but it's not the chain itself. So one of the things that I've gone through in my own journey is trying to figure out, well, why am I going through all this effort in life to do all this? Is it just the blind pursuit of money? Because I know that for a lot of people, it just doesn't lead to happiness. It's just people end up trying to make money for the sake of making money. And then they end up at the end of their life thinking, wow, I just wasted my whole life chasing money and then never had a chance to enjoy it. So this insight has actually, I found it from personal development exercises and stuff. And there was a Frank Kern. He's not really visible on YouTube much as he used to be 5 years ago. But if you look up a YouTube video from Frank Kern called Your Perfect Day, he created this exercise that really helps people figure out what experiences do they want in their life, and then that help them sort of calculate, well, how do I get there? So it starts by, you just want to sit down and imagine what your perfect day would be like, and that starts with the moment you get up. Where do you live? What does your bed look like? Who's next to you in bed? What do you do when you get out of bed? Do you exercise? You go into the shower? What does the shower look like? You try to create as much of a virtual reality in your head as possible, trying to figure out, well, what's your perfect day? What do you want to do in that day? Does it involve going to an office and you're building a company? Does it involve working at home? Does it involve going surfing? And once you're able to sort of structure that perfect day in your head, you can sort of figure out, okay, well, how do I get to that point? And obviously, money is going to be a component in how you get to that point because you can't just do everything without money. But by doing that, then you could kind of figure out, okay, this is going to be enough for me because this is going to create that perfect experiential day. And once you do that, once you figure out, well, how much does that cost, then you could figure out how much you can save and then calculate, all right, how can I withdraw just 4% of that money per year so the money doesn't run out? And when you do that, you have a way now to say, okay, now I just don't have to chase money for the sake of chasing money or have to get into this comparison. We live in a world where there's a lot of social media, and you could look at people driving a Rolls Royce through Monaco and go, well, that person obviously has a better life than me, so I have to pursue that. And that could just take more than what you're willing to put in to get to that point. So it's a good idea to know how much in your life is going to be enough. And then once you do that, you'll have a better roadmap to pursue what you want. So, from a financial standpoint, this will really free you up to live life once you know what your perfect life is. So I would definitely recommend you look up that Frank Kern video, Your Perfect Day. He'll explain it. It's about a 45-minute video, but it's really it's really worth it because he goes through this sort of personal development exercise, and it'll really help you um, understand where you can be without having to just mindlessly be like a lot of people are, just the rat in the treadmill trying to pursue, endless amounts of money and end up at the end of life with, more regret than fulfillment. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.